All right, are we 3, 2, 1? Can you put them on the screen? All right. Welcome everybody to the
What's up,
Recover
everyone?
Out Loud.
Hey, Nelly.
They're all over there.
Hi, could you put, there's
all her.
Jessica, Nelly, Michelle. Hey there.
Hey, Michelle. Jessica.
Hey there.
Nelly.
Joe Crab.
Joe Crab.
I wonder what he looks like, Joe Crab. Is he eating?
How'd you
I
get
bet.
that name?
I don't know why I get the feeling like he's eating something right now. Joe
Like
Crab.
crab? Like,
I don't know. Something.
it's like there's that place called Joe's Crab Shack.
Yeah,
in
that's a good
Newport
spot.
Beach. Yeah, it's good stuff. I see G up in here. G's in the house.
Yeah.
There's 2 G's. There's a G. There's my G, and then there's just G.
We got a couple
Yeah.
new guys here too. What's this guy's name right here above Joe Crab?
Joe Crab.
Michelangelo. Can you?
Help us out here.
Zoom user.
There's a
Oh,
Zoom.
he's a Zoom
Yeah.
user. We don't know
Yeah.
what his name
No.
is. He's all tatted up, neck
got
down.
some
I
tats.
like that guy's look.
He's got the
Oh,
the
yeah.
goat going on.
Yeah, bro. I like that.
What's your name?
He's a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Heavy hitters in the house.
He's just said Zoom user there. I don't see him. Then we get the other guy right here. What's his name? Jason Williams in the house. Gabby Rose in the house. Nelly. Patricia.
Gina.
Ed C. Scott.
I'm waiting. Where's my mom?
Amy?
She hasn't tuned in yet.
Hey, Amy.
Your mom's not here. Your mom's
Not-
coming.
I mean, she should be. She normally always tunes into anything that we're doing. Yeah.
That's nice.
My mom is on the YouTube live. That's what she does.
My mom's
Yeah, it's exciting. We got a good speaker tonight.
We have a great speaker in the house tonight.
I think her name is Debbie.
Oh my gosh.
Joking.
It's not.
Shane-
It's not
Shane
Debbie.
is out of control.
It's not Debbie. We just met her, and I get excited. When I get excited, I forget people's names. It's just what happens.
I forget people's names.
Who's the mouse? Is that a mouse or a cat?
That's the mouse. I think that's the same.
Frankie,
Frankie,
yeah,
is in
Frankie's
the house. Yeah, baby. Frank.
The
The what?
on air.
No, whatever. If you want.
Oh yeah.
Well, we haven't been putting it on because it shines really bright on the table, but
There we go.
turn it
Look
on.
at that.
Yeah.
Renee L.
That's official.
We got someone right
Renee?
here just
Really?
tuning
Right?
in.
Yeah.
Brianna. Hey, Brianna. Hi, Michelle.
Yeah.
Monica. Gabby. Wait a second. Yeah, is that Gabby?
Is that Peter Gates?
Peter.
What?
Peter Gates is in the house. What's up, Peter?
Shout out to Peter and his wife because he has all of us juicing.
If you guys, I don't know if any
crazy.
of you guys got take a look at our stories every once in a while, but we're all juicing now. Let me
We're
show you.
juicing.
Shout out to.
Yep.
Can you see me? Shout out to Peter's wife, Chi.
Yep.
She makes us
Chi
these
is the
bomb
bomb.
juices.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
I had a
we're all
green-
about that juice life.
I had
Yeah.
a green one this morning.
Yeah.
And
I'm literally 65 years
Oh,
old.
here's Peter. Come on in,
Oh,
Peter. Say hi to
Peter.
everybody.
say hi, Peter.
We got Peter. He's gonna come in real quick into
Peter's
the
gonna
studio.
Yeah. Say hi, Peter.
We're right there, Peter. There
Step
you
in
go.
front. He can step in front of my camera.
There you go.
That's the camera up there,
Right behind you, up
right
ahead.
behind you, up high,
Up on
high.
top.
There you go.
Nice.
All right, guys, we're gonna get started.
Yeah, we are.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I want to welcome everybody to the Recover Out Loud meeting every Tuesday night.
Recover Loud movement. I like that.
Oh, I like that.
Did I
That's
say?
nice.
I
Did I
think
say-
that's
No,
I
you
think
didn't.
that-
I
I
did.
feel like that's a sweatshirt.
Yeah, Recover Loud movement. There's a sweatshirt, man.
Boom.
Yeah.
I
Write
will
that
give
down.
you credit for it because you made me say it. You put it into my brain.
Nice.
God put it in something into you, and then you put it into me. Oh, wait a second.
This is why. This is why.
Hang on a second here. I take that back.
This is why my mom said Shane's such
Out
a
of
freak.
control.
But I want to get back to
Yeah, let's focus.
The opening.
Let's focus.
Super excited. We're always we truly are always honored and blessed to be hosting the Recover
alive.
Out,
Yes.
be hosting the Recover Out Loud meeting. Recover Out Loud is, as Shane said, it's not just a meeting; it's a movement. This is not an anonymous meeting, as you all probably already know. So if you do turn your cameras on, and speak, I do want to remind everybody it is also being streamed on YouTube Live.
Broadcast live, baby. Broadcast live.
We do get anywhere from 50 to 150 people that watch the
Yeah.
YouTube Live
We're
video.
growing weekly.
Yeah.
So that's
Nice.
super exciting. My mom watches it, so keep your cussing to as much as you want because
Yeah, she don't care. She's a cusser. She's part sailor.
yeah.
She is.
My mom has worked in treatment
Yes, she
herself
has.
for
Yeah.
22
She has.
years, so
Yes.
she has actually said the F-bomb a few times.
More than a few. She's seen everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yep. And
Yeah.
she has this crazy ass
Right? I was going to say an animal for a kid, too.
son. I also want to remind everybody that this meeting is not a it's not to replace
No.
your normal whatever you do on a daily basis
No.
to stay sober, whether that's the 12 steps,
Right.
whether it's a therapist, smart recovery, whatever it is,
Yeah.
we don't care. All are welcome at this meeting. This meeting is open to addicts, alcoholics, family members, loved ones, people who have lost loved ones to the disease of addiction, people who are still drinking and using,
Yeah, we don't care.
and just anybody that's in pain and who's looking
Yeah.
for some hope.
We had a lady on 4 weeks ago. She abused us. She was in her zone.
Yeah,
That was okay. We don't care.
we like it.
Yeah,
So
we like it.
we're grateful that you all are here, and we're super excited. We
Yeah.
have Tracy in the studio
Yeah.
tonight.
Where am I waving? This way?
that
This way?
Straight ahead.
camera that's
See up there?
high,
There
the
you
one
go.
that's up high, yeah. So with no further ado,
Do.
I am going to let Tracy tell her story because
Yeah.
she knows it better than I do.
Right?
Yes. we are very excited to have you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I want to thank Fausto, actually, for
Yeah.
Nice.
asking me to
Shout
be
out to
part of this.
Fausto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out for Fausto. It took me about 2 months to get his name right.
We just call him Hope Dealer around here.
Yeah, right. So I want to just say a quick thank you to him. I think it's awesome what you guys are doing here, by the way.
Yeah.
Just opening this up to everybody. I don't think there's any other place or any other meeting or forum that does that. Everything's so separated today. You
Yeah.
know? And it's so important to be able to learn from everybody's experience. And you could just hear one thing from a family member that was on the other side of addiction or alcoholism, you know, that resonates with you. And I think that kind of collaboration is so important. Before I get started, I got this idea before I came over here to start off with kind of an icebreaker card. And these are meaningful to stimulate deep, meaningful conversation. So I actually already
Wow.
picked the topic. As you can see, there's a different color cards. So they're each different topics. So I'm going to pick, what do you believe in spite of having no proof of it?
Wow, is that a question?
That
for
is a
us?
question.
For
Yeah.
us?
Yeah.
Oh, I got right away. I
Yeah.
got the answer.
What do you believe in
Me too.
spite of having no proof?
God.
God.
Yeah, right away it came to me.
Right away, right? How do you know?
How do I
Why
know
do you
what?
believe?
Why do I believe?
Yeah.
Why do I believe?
Yes.
Because of certain things happen in my life that are not of this earth.
There you go. To kind of piggyback off this question, I chose these cards because I was like, let me get some direction on where to go with this, right? Instead of just the standard topics like we talk about, gratitude and all that kind of stuff.
She's fun at parties.
So, yeah.
Talk more into the mic.
You
The
should-
the
okay.
guy's saying back there.
Sorry, guys.
You can pull-
Is this a little bit better? All right.
Well, yeah.
All right. So to get us started, my name is Tracy. I'm born and raised in New York, not New York City. I'm from upstate by Woodstock. Born and raised there. And I do have a younger brother who is not an addict, although I think he does smoke too much weed and drink too much sometimes, but it doesn't affect his quality of life. So we're staying hands off of that for now. Obviously, I'm sober because I needed to get sober. I definitely had, besides consequences, I don't think that consequences were the driving force into me deciding to get sober. Consequences had really nothing to do with it. I think the biggest, if I needed to put it in a category of a consequence, what I felt was a brokenness, a spiritual, like a soul brokenness. To where I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I Everyone says I didn't recognize who I was, but truly I did not recognize who I was, and the hope that I had for the person that I wanted to become, that I used to believe was possible, had completely dissipated. And that was my absolute breaking point. And obviously, I had used drugs starting, for a long time. And my breaking point, and I'm not going to go all into that, but my breaking point was I was actually living in New York City after I moved back from California. In 2017, I moved to the city because I totaled my third car. And I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of California. So I moved to the city. I was like, you don't need a car. And I was 36 years old. A year or two after I moved back, and I was up for about 2.5 days. I remember going to the corner store, the bodega, the actual bodegas, going to the corner store, and I was walking back to my apartment building, and about halfway down the block, I just collapsed. I just felt like this wave of emotion come over me, and I could not stop crying. It was like this uncontrollable, like that ugly cry where like the snot's coming out your nose and everything. You're just heaving. And I just got to the front door of my apartment building. Not even my apartment, the building. Buzzed myself in, and good thing we're on the first floor because there's no way I could have climbed steps. And I got in the door of my apartment. None of my roommates were home, and I collapsed on the floor. And that's all I could do. I could just cry. I was that and it makes me emotional now. Like I was just that devastated. And I crawled to my room, which was at the end of the hallway. And I called a former sponsor of mine that I had when I was out here in California, because I was introduced to Alcoholics Anonymous when I was in California, despite already having been in a few different rehabs. One, Narcanon, Scientology-based, highly not recommended. I did not become a Scientologist, but it was just really, really weird, guys.
Yeah.
And I called a former sponsor of mine, and she goes, "What's the next meeting you can get to?" And it was around like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I looked on my phone and I was like, well, there's one at 7. She goes, "What time is it?" I said, "I think it's like 1 or 2. She goes, "I didn't ask you what one you wanted to go to." I said, "What is the next meeting?" She goes, "You are still in this desperate state trying to control everything." So I was like, "You don't understand. I haven't showered. I haven't eaten." She goes, "Grab a pair of leggings on your floor, because I know your room looks like a shit show. Grab a pair of leggings, a sweater." It was wintertime outside and freezing in New York. "Grab a sleeve of crackers and get out the door." And for the first time, that was the first time I didn't care about vanity. I didn't care about how I looked. I didn't even think about it. I just threw that on. I think I might have put deodorant on, or like perfume, like not even a Puerto Rican shower, like much less than that. And I just like escaped my apartment, got in the subway, went to this meeting. And then I found right after this AA meeting, there was a CA meeting. I never heard of CA. My drug was cocaine. My drug of choice is cocaine. And so I went to the CA meeting. And I'm in this CA meeting like just a nutcase, like angry, couldn't stop talking, moving all over the place. I think I was eating M&Ms or something. I don't know. And so I'm sitting there, and there's this woman to the left of me. Like I was sitting down, and there's another seat. And like right around the corner, there was this woman sitting there, and she had a purple mohawk. And I just thought it was pretty badass and she had like the professional clothes on. So I was like, okay, she does something, that she needs to be professional for. And she has a purple mohawk. And I was like, that's pretty fucking dope, like to have a mohawk, but also be a professional. And that was my mind state at the time. And purple was my favorite color. So I took that as a sign. And so at the end of the meeting, I was like, "I need a sponsor. Will you be my sponsor?" And she almost dropped her phone because she was texting. She was like, I guess so. So I gave her my number. And then now I'm 4.5 years sober. Wow. Just on that. That's all I had to go by. Like that desperation and willingness, I guess. But it was that, I really call those moments, like it was a window that I had, like that small window to just blurt out these words. I remember they must have been loud because she fumbled her phone and almost dropped it. So I definitely startled her. But if I missed that window, I don't know how much longer it would have taken me. So from that point forward, I just did the next thing. I just did what I was told. Most of the time, my will and my ego and my pride still today are hard at times for me to get a grasp on. So with the end being said, I'll tell you a little bit about kind of how I got there. I was raised in a middle-class family, both working parents. They were both professionals. Raised always to be involved in something. I had flute lessons. I had ballet. I had this. I mean, you name it, we were involved in it. There was not one night during the week where we weren't doing something, right? My mother had like this laundry list of things that when she had kids, these were these things that they were going to do. They were going to learn how to do, right? One of it was tennis, ski, learn another language, play piano and another instrument. I don't know why. So we learned the language in school. I was a doubles champion tennis player in high school. I was a ballerina, and then I was a very accomplished flautist. And that was my dream, right? To play in the Philharmonic. That's what I was going to do. And I played in Carnegie Hall when I was 16. Wow. And that was like, when they say rest on laurels, I used that to kind of propel me through my addiction, to reinforce that like I am somebody, that I can do something. I had like this moment to me that was like my moment of greatness, right? And that's as far as I got with it. And very strict parents, very strict upbringing. I have a Puerto Rican mom, born and raised in the Bronx. So, there's that you fuck up. I mean, there's that backhand that like shatters your teeth so fast. Today it would be considered child abuse. But, sometimes you need a good ass whooping. And my dad was, she was an only child. My dad was one of 9 siblings, raised very, very poor. He's white, and I say white, y'all, but you know what I mean. And in the sticks of New York.
No, I don't know what you mean. Actually.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Very white. Very white, Shane. Yes. Not black. No black in him. So, no Spanish, no nothing. No culture. So, and so bringing those two together was kind of like these different parenting styles in the household. But still, there was no parties. Back in the day, we used to, because I was raised in like a rural kind of area by Woodstock. And so we'd have like keg parties in the cornfields. It was a cool thing. I promise you. And the thing was to kind of like get on your bike and ride away when you saw the police cars coming, And so I wasn't allowed to go to those. I'm telling you that story from like stories that I heard, that it was fun. I wasn't allowed to go. I was the band geek. I was drum major for the marching band. It was really cool. Even if I was allowed to date, probably nobody would want to date me, just based on that. So I graduated high school early at 16, and then I went to the Crane School of Music for flute performance at 17. And it was there that it was like a bird let out of a cage for the first time. I never made a decision for myself, not once. It was always like run past my mother, like the one who was in charge. And I remember going to a few sorority and fraternity parties in that fall semester. And my roommate, Andrea, who I knew, we played in Carnegie Hall together. So we got accepted to the same school. We roomed together. And I was like, Mom, no, we went to Sig Pi and we went to this basement party. And Andrea's like, what are you doing? She's writing me these notes like, you're supposed to say you're at the library. You don't tell your mom you're at a frat basement party. But I didn't know how to lie. I was like, I was new to it. I didn't know what to do. It was also during this year that I, did ecstasy for the first time, went to rave clubs in Montreal. It was just amazing. Got my fake ID spring semester, and then failed most of my classes. Then I was taken out of that school. I didn't fail out. I could have gone back. You could tell it's a little resentment still. I could have gone back, but my parents were like, we're not sending you back just to do more partying. And I think that's where things really started to go awry, and it took me a long time to realize that I defined myself based on what I could do for you, what you could see that I could do. Right. And I think a part of that is still with me. I've let go of a lot of it because now what I do is what I love and what I enjoy. So it's just who I am. But it was like I would hand you who are you? Like, tell me about yourself. I would want to hand you my resume. Like, oh, this is what I did. And I didn't know that that's separate from who I am. So if you asked me who I am, that was a big question mark. I didn't even know that I could say like I'm a good friend. I didn't know that was a thing that you could say. And things definitely took some turns from there. I got into relationships I shouldn't have been in. And I always seemed to align what I learned on my 4-step was that I always seemed to align myself with people who always had their shit together, because I used to, I knew I wanted to, and I knew I was capable of that, but I didn't have it. So I would talk about who I was as in like what I'm going to do or what I'm working on, but it's not where I was at the time. So the people I was dating, they were older, they were settled, they were accomplished. And so I felt like somebody. And then for the first time, when I was 19, I was almost 20, I was dating somebody who was 32. And definitely didn't act like it, but I was 32. And this is when things got bad. He was Italian, very well connected with other Italian families who were well connected, if you know what I mean. And so there was this restaurant that one of the families owned, and they would just party downstairs in the basement till probably like 5 a.m, just doing a shit ton of cocaine. And I wasn't allowed in places because I wasn't 21 yet. But because they knew who I was dating, it was like, no, she's okay. She could come in. Now, coming from high school where I wasn't exactly the most popular girl, I mean, I was drum major for crying out loud, So I wasn't exactly the most popular girl. I wasn't dating anybody. So now I'm like, oh my God, I am someone, but I wasn't, but I felt that way. So I kind of didn't want to let that go. And I continued to find myself in situations that not only compromised my self-worth, my self-respect, my dignity, my integrity, all of it. But in this twisted way, I still felt like it gave me some kind of a meaning, like gave meaning to kind of who I was. Wow. And then I moved out to California. It was like this desperation to kind of do these geographical changes. So I went down to Atlanta for rehab when I was 23. I worked there for a while. I always ended up working at the rehabs that I went to. They were like, stay with us. So I stayed there for a year and a half, moved back to New York. I finished my bachelor's degree. I got in another relationship. Still, all these relationships still involved cocaine. I didn't know that they did cocaine. And it just seemed like they just appeared to me, like I just attracted the people. Without considering the fact that the bars I was going to were riddled with cocaine, and that's where I would meet these people. So no coincidence there. And then my use got bad. I moved out to California to try again a former relationship that I was in when I was 23, and I met this person in rehab. Moved out here, ended up using again, went back to that rehab in Southern California, which they have by Temecula, like up in Warner Springs in the middle of, like, the hills have eyes up there. And stayed and worked there for about a year and a half. And then I started grad school. I started my PsyD program in 2013. What I didn't know was that continuous follow-up care and monitoring of like these voices that go on in my head was important, because where I went for treatment did not believe in 12 steps. As I said, they were Scientology based, so they'll never admit it. Hopefully they won't be listening to this. They'll never admit it, but all the books said like based on the works of L. Ron Hubbard. And I was like, come on, guys. Like, you mean to tell me this isn't Scientology? I was like, no. How dare you? And then I was put on like this ethics code and shit. It was nuts. Cause I challenged everything. If it didn't smell right, like I was calling you out on it just like that. Like something's not right and we're going to figure it out. And I'm going to like be relentless and have you on your knees begging by the time I'm done with you to like actually admit something. So that's what I did when I was there. They didn't like it, so they demoted me. But anyway, so I started grad school and I still was in my addiction, but I didn't know it, although I wasn't using. And things got bad again. I changed grad schools, but it was during that time that a friend of mine, new friend that I had met at the time, introduced me to Alcoholics Anonymous because she was sober. And she's like, "You're really struggling, huh?" I said, "Yeah." And so she goes, "Why don't you try AA?" And I was like, "What, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that doesn't work." That's what was drilled into me, And so I was living in Anaheim at the time, and I Googled on my phone, like, Alcoholics Anonymous. So I found the 202 in Anaheim, which was about, I don't know, like 6-7 minutes driving for me. And they had this 7 a.m. meeting. I think probably the first time I voluntarily woke up at 7 a.m. For months after that. But I went to this meeting there, and I pulled up, and it didn't have the nice paint job that it has now. It was like the old 202 where it was like cracked paint, looked like this rundown crack house on the outside. There were these big biker dudes out front, you know, and smoking. And I was like, I called my friend. I was like, I'm going to get fucking taken and buried in the backyard. There is no, you can't pay me to walk inside this place. Like, do you know who goes here? She's like, Tracy, just get out of the car. So I got out of the car. I walked in front of these men. I was like, God, please fucking help me. So I walked in front of these men. And they all shook my hand and they said, welcome. And they gave me a hug and they welcomed me into this place. These men who I had totally judged just by, you know, the tattoos, and they were, you know, they're big. I'm a little person. I was even smaller then, you know, from all the drugs. Like, you know, they're these big guys. And that's when I learned, like, its appearances are very deceiving. And I went in there and it felt like home. There was magic inside that building, y'all. Like there's magic inside that. I still call it my little yellow crack house. Like there's magic in there. I met my first sponsor, and it was the first time that I had somebody call me a junkie. And I was like, do you know who you're talking to? Do you see the clothes that I'm wearing? Like, do you, like, my hair's done? Like, what do you mean I'm a junkie? And he was like, you're a fucking junkie, girl. And he told me what a junkie was. And I was like, I mean, he's got a point. You got a point. Like, I do that stuff, you know? I did the program for a while. I think I reached like 100 and something days sober, and then I relapsed. Took me a while to come back. I didn't come back for a long time. And I was in a very abusive relationship from 2015, December 2015, until I moved back to New York. I say I escaped California, June 1st, 2017. And during this time, if my self-esteem was already non-existent, if there's something below non-existent, then that's what I was. And I moved back to California, to New York, to kind of get away from him. He was following me everywhere. I mean, it was gnarly. And I figured I'd start my life over. But there I was with myself again in New York, and I couldn't get away from it. And then it just got worse, and it got worse. And then all of a sudden I'm in Harlem crawling on my floor. So I discovered CA. CA did save my life. After that first meeting where I met my sponsor, I kept going back. I kept taking the direction, and I kept going back. And within 6 months, I had applied to grad school again in New York. Got my own apartment in New York, not like 5 roommates, like my own place that I was paying for on my own. And just to backtrack a little bit, one of the most important pieces of advice that was given to me was from a friend of mine in CA. He was one of the first guys that I met there. And he said, you know, if money's your trigger, he goes, the best piece of advice given to him was to give somebody else your debit card to hold on to. Give somebody else control of your money, of your finances. And I was like, oh, Jesus, I'm 36 and I'm going to ask my mother, you know, to help me control my money. So I asked her, and I cried, and I said, Mom, if you don't help, like, I know I'm going to die. I knew it. I knew I was going to die. And she said, okay, so in upstate New York, about an hour and a half away, she opened up another bank account at her credit union. I changed my direct deposit form from work to be deposited over there. We changed like the electronic transfers or payments every month for cell phone, for gas, or for whatever to come out of that account. And she sent me a $200 Visa gift card every week. And then $50 in my bank account, because you can't use like a debit card under $5 at a bodega for like a Snapple and gum. Like you just, you know, you need to have some cash on you. And so I did that. That's how I lived, with a $200 Visa gift card. And I said I was going to do that for a year. And I remember about 8 or 9 months, I told my sponsor, I was like, I can't take this shit anymore. Like, it's embarrassing going out to eat with friends. And it's like, what's this Visa gift card business? You know, like, this is nuts. And she goes, Tracy, but it's not about you anymore. She goes, you told your parents you would do it for a year. This isn't about you, it's about them. You're keeping your word to them so they feel okay. You know, with the 16 or 18 years of hell that I put them through. And so I stuck with it. And I think that was the beginning of me. One, I learned that I could live on less. I learned that I had all my needs met. I didn't need anything else. I wanted it, but I was just fine. You know, yeah. I was still able to do things. I was still able to take an Uber home from work once in a while because where I worked was kind of farther away from my apartment. I could still do things, and I wasn't in lack. So for that first year was a test for me. And then I got control of my money, and I was okay. And I was in grad school, and I finished my MSW at Touro College there. And then another God shot came, and I was like, after I graduated, I was like, I can't do it. Like, if this is all it is now with this MSW, like, I'm going to blow my brains out because I already had like a year and a half training of this doctoral program. And so I reached out to the Chicago School, Professional Psychology, where I go now, and they said they were taking back students who hadn't finished the program to see if they want to come back and finish. And I was like, this is great, because all the other programs on the East Coast were like 5-6 years. So I said, yeah, I'll do it. And I graduated in June. I sold my apartment and then sold all the stuff in my apartment and moved back out here in August of 2021. But when I had to sell all my things, I was like, is this the right move for me? Am I supposed to be doing this? And then when we talk about another God shot, to sell all the stuff you have in a 1-bedroom apartment in New York City, piece by piece, and listing this shit on Craigslist, on Gypsy Housing, whatever these Facebook groups are and stuff there, I just knew it was going to take forever. And I happened to be on a Wednesday night meeting because I connected back with meetings that I used to go to in California via Zoom during COVID. And this woman messaged me. She goes, wait a minute, when are you moving? And I said, I have to move by August. She goes, well, my daughter goes to NYU and she's in Brooklyn in a furnished apartment. She and her roommate are moving at the very end of July into an unfurnished apartment. What are you selling? I'll take it all.
Wow, that's cool.
So it happened. I gave her a list of everything. She goes, she loves it. We'll take it. She came by with a moving truck, took all my stuff, and it was out that same day. It was like this whole move was made so easy for me. And when things are right in my life, it's just made easy. And I came here, and I've been here for 2 years now, and I'm almost done, hopefully, with this doctoral degree. And ironically, the person who I am in a relationship with today, the love of my life, is the one who introduced me to Alcoholics Anonymous.
Wow.
Awesome.
Back in 2014.
Awesome.
So it's real, in sobriety, what I've realized is that things do come full circle. It takes patience, and when I exert myself so much to forcing what I want to have happen, and then I finally get so exhausted because I got to beat my head. I got to beat myself over the head so many times until I'm beaten into submission. And then once I finally let go, then the best opportunity comes along. When I was trying to force a great opportunity, then one better actually ends up landing. So if I just pause, shut up and wait, then maybe I could avoid a lot of turmoil. That's just not who I am. And I think that's part of me that I kind of accepted, but at least now I have these sober references to look back on, these experiences. And I'm like, okay, Tracy, remember the last time you did this? You got yourself into a whole lot of shit, almost a full-on anxiety attack, and for what? And I have people in my life today that I can talk to, that I could share experience with, that I can, that say, hey, come speak at Hopeaholics and kind of get me out of myself because I'm sitting at a computer for 4 hours, and just try and be of service. And, I have the 12 steps in Alcoholics Anonymous and Cocaine Anonymous and the whole fellowship and people that I've met through other people throughout this whole journey, and God, who has gotten me here. And for a long time, I couldn't say God, by the way. I only said higher power. I could not say God. I would not say it because my higher power at the time was the unconditional love that I felt in this room of people, that feeling of strangers that just you don't have to lie to. Like, I didn't know that those people existed. So that was higher power to me, just that feeling, that essence that existed in that room. And then now I can say God today. So with those things, and some elements of therapy have truly helped me. I listen to a lot of spiritual meditations and talks and TD Jakes. I'm a huge fan of Maya Angelou, and just these ways of living that are accessible to everybody if you want it, And now I do my very best not to pride myself solely on my accomplishments, solely on what's on a piece of paper, because that can go away at any moment. Like, that could be taken away. That could just disappear. But who I am, that's a constant work. That's constant. That's work in progress. And that's something that's sustainable, and that's something that I've realized will take me a lot farther than anything that's on a piece of paper. So.
Amazing.
And that's where we're at today.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
So you're still in school for your doctorate?
I am still in school, yeah.
And you're going to be at PsyD?
Yes.
Nice.
Clinical forensic
Yeah.
psychology, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Psych, I love
Those are blessings, right? Those
Yeah.
are miracles of the program.
I can't, yeah. There's no other word for it. Hands down.
Yeah.
Someone took care of my money for the first year too.
Really?
Oh fuck yeah, yeah, I needed it.
That
I did. I had
saved my life.
a tank of gas a week.
Yep.
I bought a new car, a Nissan Murano, nothing fancy, $35,000-$40,000 car, and I had a tank a week, and a couple $100. That was it.
A week or a month?
A couple $100 a week.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
And when I drove people to meetings, my sponsor made me tell them I needed gas money.
Really?
Yeah.
I still have a guy that manages all my money. He's online right here. His name is G.
Yeah.
Shout out to G. Shout out to G.
Yeah, man.
He's laughing. All right, man. Well, thank you so
Amazing.
much.
Yeah.
for
Yeah, no, thanks
sharing.
for having me
Thank you.
here.
Yeah.
Incredible.
We have the second part of our meeting is about
Second phase.
start. Yep.
Second phase.
So
yeah.
now we open it up to everybody that's in Zoom.
Yeah, we already got a hand up with our old boy
Oh, wow.
there.
So
Who's our-
first off, I want to remind everybody that we have a 3-minute rule. So when you're speaking, when you hit the 3-minute mark, you will hear
Ding.
not that one.
Come on, bro. That's
That's not it.
that's too happy. Let's piss people off.
We got a new board, you guys, so bear with us for a second. That's not it.
Yeah, that's an
not
aggravating one. Yeah,
That's good.
that's okay.
Yeah, so you'll hear that.
Scratch a little.
Can you guys?
scratch.
Can everybody hear that? Like, shake your head yes if you can.
Yeah,
hear
they
that.
can hear it. And if you don't, we're gonna mute you like within 15 seconds after you hear that.
I really hate muting people.
I
It
do
makes me
too.
feel so bad.
Yeah, I
Especially
know.
if they're saying something sincere
I
and
know, I
heartfelt.
know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
be mean today though. I'm
if-
gonna go mute.
Here's the deal. When you hear that, just start to just wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start to wrap up your combo,
Yeah.
your share.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
The meeting is open to the participants.
Yes.
Guy in the bed.
Yes, sir. Our boy Wes.
Yeah, baby.
How's it going? Feels nice to have you guys know my name instead of iPad.
That's right.
Yeah, we see you on Instagram all the time, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, congratulations on your sobriety. Your name's Tracy, right?
It is.
Yeah. Congratulations. Huge shout out to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, God, somehow he truly works in mysterious ways. And it's kind of crazy how you said your life has come full circle. My life has come full circle as well. My name is Wes. And the way my life has come full circle is that back in the day, in my early 20s, when I was like from 19 to like 21 or 22, I used to be a CNA. I started working at an elderly home, at a retirement home, and about 20 years later, well, about 15 years later, give or take, back in 2017, when I was 33, I became paralyzed from the neck down from shooting heroin, and that's how God got my attention. Um, I I overdosed in the hospital while I was in the hospital. So I was in the hospital for a total of 2.5 months at Harborview in Seattle, and I was in the ICU for 3.5 weeks on a ventilator. Couldn't move my couldn't move my legs, couldn't move my arms. The only thing on my body or in my body that I could control or move was my eyes and my eyelids. And for the first 3.5 weeks, I communicated using a chart, an alphabet chart that had 5 columns and 5 rows. And my nurse would hold her finger on the letter A, and then I would move my eyes up or down, left and right, to get to the letter that I wanted to get to, and then I would blink my eyes twice to select a letter, and then I would move my eyes to get to the next letter to create, and I would create a word, and then I would blink my eyes twice or 3 times actually when I finished the word, and then I would create words and then sentences. And this is how I communicated with my family, with all my friends. They came and visited me in the hospital, which I'm grateful to God for those people and these people that I had and that I have by my side. I'm not sure if I would have made it through being paralyzed if it wasn't for them and if it wasn't for God. And God showed me what it's like. He humbled me so that I could humble myself. And now I serve God and I share my stories with others and in hopes to inspire them. And that's kind of how my life's come full circle. So it's kind of funny that you mentioned it that way, but again, congratulations, and I'm grateful for the guys at the Hopeaholics and everything you guys do. I love you guys.
Thank you, Wes,
Thank you
man. We're
so
grateful for
much.
you as well.
Wow.
Thanks for showing up.
Raymond.
Raymond.
Hello.
Hey.
What's
Yes,
up?
my name is Raymond. I'm a grateful recovering drug addict. For me, that's a good share. What was your name again?
Tracy.
Tracy. And that was also a good share, Wes. But for me, I mean, full circle for sure is definitely my life has came in a full circle because I started using meth when I was 13, and I'm only 25. So I'm not like I'm trying to glorify, but like I've been using for most of my life already. Um, and just recently, I don't know if you guys can see right here on my head, right where my fingers at.
Yeah.
I was in a motorized bicycle accident not too long ago. See it
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right here?
Yep.
I was in a motorized bicycle accident not too long ago, and I was not necessarily I was high at the moment, but I did have drugs in my system, and I got into an accident, and I wasn't wearing my helmet. I got hit by a truck. I got T-boned, and that put me in the hospital for 4 months.
Wow.
And the first 3 weeks of the 4 months, I was in a medical-induced coma. After I got out of the coma and did 2 months in the first hospital, I got transferred to Santa Clara Medical Rehab, where I had to learn how to retalk and rewalk again. And basically, this all ties up to the point where after I got out of the hospital, I started to use again, and I was like, "What the hell am I doing? This is like a slap in my higher power's face."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He just gave me a second chance at life, and now I'm going and slapping him in the face for this. So I put myself into this place. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. It's called Sun Street Centers. And I graduated from Sun Street Centers after the after 3 months, and now I'm in a halfway house this place called Turning Point, which is a godsend, you know. And I've been here for almost 4 months, but now altogether, I like on the 12th, I will have 7 months sober.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Thank you. And you know, like that's just basically that was just my whole life in well, the whole ending part of my life up into a you know, like a little nutshell. Basically, that's what brought me into recovery and the chance. You know, what I mean, a real, well, not necessarily a second chance, but a third chance at life. You know what I mean? Because everybody could go out. Just it's not always a guarantee that they'll come back.
Very true.
You know, and I'm very thankful that I'm in Narcotics Anonymous, and my sponsor has had me working I started step 1, did step 2, got to step 3, I was like, ooh, then busted that out, step 4 out and step 5 out, and he's slowing me down. Thank you, I know. And basically I'm just trying to get through it as much as I can, as honestly as possible. You know what I mean? So I can get through, so I could become a sponsor and give out what's been so freely given to me. Thank you. My name is Raymond. I'm an addict.
I love
Thank you
Raymond.
so much, Raymond.
I like Raymond. Raymond, I want you to show up next week, and I want you to check in again, bro.
Yeah.
Okay?
All
Because
right, what time?
same time next week, Tuesday, 6 o'clock. I'm keeping an eye on you, and please, can you send a Instagram to the Hopeaholics?
Yeah. I think I messaged you on Instagram asking if you guys could come out to Salinas.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Okay, he'll pass it to me. I'll get your phone number. Send your phone number. I'll give you a buzz. You'll have my phone number. We'll keep in contact. I'm here. I'm in your life, Raymond.
Just
All right, will do.
DM me and
maybe
I'll
eventually I could come out and share on your guys' podcast.
Yeah, damn rights, bro. I'm in your life. Okay, let's get this going. Good job, Raymond. We'll see you next week.
I just wanted to tell Raymond also that I got addicted to crystal meth at
13. That's what I was thinking when he was talking.
Yeah.
And he's only 25 now.
Yeah.
He's young. His whole life is in
Young
front of
guy.
him, bro.
I found the program at 23 years old.
Right?
And
And look at you now.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna be 50 just in case anybody.
There's hope, Raymond. There's hope,
hope.
bro.
There's
Good
hope,
job,
Raymond.
buddy. Good job, man. Good job.
Oh,
Wes.
to go back to 25.
Holy Jesus.
I wouldn't want
I don't
to
know
do
if
that.
you'd
I
make
wouldn't
it.
want
I
to
don't
do
know
that.
if you'd make it a
I
second
wouldn't
time.
want to do that damn life
No,
again,
me
especially
either.
with
No.
social media. There was no social
No,
media.
no, no.
Right?
Gosh.
All right. Who we
Mercy,
got up
mercy,
next?
mercy.
Is it Craig?
Craig.
Craig, you're up, buddy.
What's up, Craig?
How you doing? My name is Craig, addict alcoholic.
Hey,
Hey,
Craig.
Craig.
I just wanted to get on here and tell you guys I think this is wonderful, man. I reached out to you probably a couple months ago. I've only been on 2 of these. This is my second one. It's amazing. You know, I went through the whole COVID thing, trying to stay sober on Zoom meetings, and it was awful. You know,
Yeah.
I got
That was
sober
hard.
before COVID, and this is by far one of the greatest ones. And you guys are on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast, and it's you spoke about those God wings, and like I said, this is my second meeting. I'm coming on here from Newburgh,
Newburgh, New York?
New York.
Stop it!
I swear to
I'm
God.
from Kingston, exit 19.
I know, it's so crazy.
You're kidding me.
It's so wild. And
Amazing.
like I said, second meeting, and you're on the West Coast. Grew up 20 minutes from me.
I
It's
know.
like,
That's fucking
That's
awesome.
amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
See, these,
so
Wow.
when you talk about those cornfield keg parties,
Yeah.
like, I know about them.
he went to them. He went to them. They
Wait,
were
you
fun.
were-
He
he
just
was
said.
there.
Yeah.
You were allowed to go.
He was
We're
definitely
from-
not in the marching band.
No, he
No.
wasn't.
No.
No.
No, no man for me.
I like this
You know,
guy.
like you said, it's one of those God wings where, like,
Yeah.
I haven't been making much meetings, and I needed to get on here and to hear your story, and you're local. It's just wild.
That's awesome.
And, I thank you guys all for being here and for a great meeting.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you're
I
here.
fucking like this guy too. Can you send us an Instagram link with your phone number, bro? I'm gonna text you. We're gonna keep it. I'm taking guys on. I love people, man.
Yeah.
Tonight, we're helping.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
man.
next week we'll see you Tuesday, please. I want you to check in too, man. That's awesome. Fuck,
All right,
these are good
sounds good.
stories.
Yeah.
Yes, Newberg.
Newberg.
New-
He'll be back next week.
Newberg's
Yeah, he
in the
will.
house.
Yeah, here we go.
All right,
Frankie.
Frankie. What's up, buddy?
Hey everybody, Hopeaholics. How you
Yeah.
guys doing
Frankie.
tonight?
Good.
Great.
Great meeting. This is my third time coming on here. My little character, it's gonna be
We
me.
love it.
Yeah.
My first initial time coming on here was this is my third little time showing up on here. So just a recap on I'm an alcoholic. I'm 33 years old. I do live in the West Coast as well. I am from California. So like I explained, on September 2nd of 2023, I was involved in a DUI crash, a very bad one, and I'm 38 days clean and sober off the
Nice.
drugs,
Hell
alcohol, and
yeah.
tobacco.
Congratulations.
Nice.
And
Huge.
it's been a bumpy road, man. It's been really emotional. You know, changing my life is gonna be a long road, but with you guys here every week, it makes it a little bit easier to hear the stories, to see the positivity coming out, and everybody in this group tonight is just amazing. With that being said, thank you, and I'll be here next week as well, like
Nice. Yeah.
always.
Amazing.
Nice.
Thanks,
Thank
Frank.
DM us,
Frankie.
bro. We're making a list. We're gonna get a thing going together. We're gonna get some guys together and keep this rolling. Get everyone sober. Stay sober.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, bro, for
Love
sure.
the character, Frankie.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it.
Love that guy.
I think Trisha's new.
Trisha.
Yeah, Trisha.
Trisha.
I think
you're up.
Trisha's new.
Is she?
I think.
But you'll find out in just a second.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't get my phone to unmute.
No, that's
I'm
fine.
Trisha, I'm alcoholic.
Hey,
Hi,
Trish.
Trisha.
I want to thank you guys. I just happened to be cruising, scrolling, and I seen you guys are live. I'm in Ohio, so it's a little bit,
Oh yeah, the Buckeyes.
a little bit more bedtime for me. But thank you so much for being present for me to view you guys. Tracy had said something that I really needed to hear because I'm working on my 5-year coin here soon, and I think that my recovery is transitioning more into the application of what I've learned, and I get caught up so often in life and just what life requires. I'm a parent and I work full time. I'm a amateur athlete, so I think I needed to hear that sometimes I need to slow down and just pause and wait, because like Tracy was saying, when I force something, when I'm putting my hands into something and forcing a round peg into a square hole,
Mm-hmm.
it often doesn't pan out very well. And when I pause and appreciate what's going on for just being what it is, things seem to happen the way that they need to happen, and more so better than what I could ever have planned. And I can only thank my higher power for that one. And Tracy, you had said something about using past experiences like a point of reference, like excuse my language, but look, bitch, look what you did
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
calm it down.
Yeah.
You know what happens at the end of this. So why don't we talk to somebody,
Mhm.
get a different perspective,
Yeah.
and try something different? And I needed to hear that. I definitely needed to hear that. I've been lately getting caught up in just life, kids, school, whatever, and I forget that it's a short road back, and I am one bad decision away from ruining my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, that my ego can kind of get in the way of things because I've got some 24 hours under my belt. Like, I got this, and I really don't. So I'm so glad you guys were here. It's been a while since I've had a meeting, and you guys popped my Zoom cherry. So I
Nice.
thank you. And
Nice.
I guess
Nice.
with that, I pass.
I said she was new.
Amazing.
See, I was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
That's so awesome.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
I just wanted to say that we there's always the other side of the coin too. We're also one good decision away from a better life. We're also one good decision away from success.
Yeah.
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 You know,
I like what you said. Pause And
Oh man,
appreciate.
so what the between the all the shares tonight, step 11 really like resonates with me, and that's what we sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out.
Yeah.
You know, that's like one of the most powerful steps to me because see, through all of the other steps, you've like really freed yourself to be able to just be a vessel for God's
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. And then
You
this
know,
is
and-
stamping it.
Yes.
It's not even a powerful step, but a really powerful statement.
Statement.
Yeah, statement. Good step, but a great statement also.
And we also call that, we also do other like stuff beyond, the 12 steps around here in the Hopeaholics and in our podcast and
Yeah.
everything. We also call the 11th step is also being in the alignment to your assignment.
Nice.
So when you're aligned with God and you're asking for his will,
Right.
which is your assignment to be
Right.
happening in your life,
I like that.
it's very freeing because you don't have to worry. You no
Right.
longer have to be in like fear and worry of what your will is, because like God's will is always bigger and greater than anything I could have ever imagined.
Yeah. Well, what do they say? Fear is where it's a fear of losing something we already have or not getting something that we want.
Yeah.
You know, and I find myself in those places sometimes. You were talking about step 11. I had to take out my phone because whenever I'm in that kind of place, that set aside prayer kind of like recenters me every single time. Just help me set aside everything I think I know about you, because I'm trying to impose every single thing that I want. I'm very good at the square peg and round hole. I'm extremely stubborn, and I will force that shit till like the cows come home, So if I remind myself that I just need to set aside everything that I think I know, then I'll be okay.
For sure.
Smart.
Yeah.
Just start from scratch.
Start from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it, and I know some people occasionally have to sign off before 7 p.m.
Is it that time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
it's,
gosh.
Wow.
we do
Wow.
have time for one short one if anybody has a burning desire.
No.
How about the Hawaiian right there? The Zoom
Yeah.
user, the Hawaiian. Let's
I
get the
know,
big
I-
Hawaiian
yeah.
guy. Yeah, we want the big Hawaiian guy right now. He's
got
nodding his
stories,
head.
bro. I know
He's
you got
nodding his head.
stories.
Let's get him going. Put him on the spot.
How you guys doing?
How you doing, brother?
Good.
Good. I'm actually from Santa Barbara.
Okay, fair,
Okay.
close enough.
Close enough. But yeah. No, I think what you guys are doing is awesome. It's really great. I'm new to recovery and honest recovery. I've been drinking and drugging since I was 9. Spent a lot of time in Santa Barbara fucking up in LA. Yep. But I'm 59 days in right now.
Nice.
Amazing.
Right.
Amazing.
And what I've learned most is that I was, along with being an alcoholic, I'm spiritually sick.
Yeah.
Like really spiritually sick. But man, the rooms of AA have changed my life around completely. I walk lighter. I got my head up. I'm going through a lot. Life thrown, my God's testing me every day. But what I've learned from people like you and people in the rooms has just absolutely changed my life. And I definitely look forward to my journey because my circle's only getting started,
Right.
But
For sure.
I'm ready to. I stay vigilant in my sobriety, and I do 2 to 3 meetings a day.
Nice.
Of
There you
my
go.
work schedule and stuff, and kids. But I love it. And it's crazy. You guys just popped up on my Instagram one day, and it was a sign from God, and I've been following you guys ever since.
Nice.
That's amazing. I love
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
Thank you, brother. Listen, send us an
Congratulations.
Instagram if you want with your phone number. I'll give you mine. We'll check in. I'll be another board for you to bounce off of if you need it.
No
Yeah.
problem. I'll hit you up as soon as we're done.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
That's so awesome. I just want to say one thing to you, and that is enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there is no destination in recovery, and I can take that a lot further. There's no destination in life. And one thing that a lot of us addicts, alcoholics, and normies, so just everybody basically, sometimes we forget to just sit and enjoy the journey that we're on. You know, we're all on this life journey riding on a bus. And like for me, the way I see it today is like, I'm not driving that bus. God is driving that bus, and I get to just sit in whatever seat I want on that bus, and I can look out the window and I can enjoy the view, you know. And that all comes with a lot of faith and trust in the process. So trusting the process is also extremely important,
Fall
but
in love with the
enjoying it.
process. Yep, fall in love with the process.
Yeah, fall in love with it.
Yeah.
And it does. It gets easier. It does, especially at the very beginning. I mean, I couldn't wait to, I mean, I was very naive at 23 thinking like, all right, I'm ready to like graduate this program. Like I'm ready for my certificate. I'm done. Get me out of here.
What's next?
You know,
Yeah.
where you were talking about step 11, you know, of like, essentially it's surrendering where it's like not my will, it's God's, because clearly, I don't know about all you guys that are in the meeting, but, I like to run the show, and clearly the show ran me into Alcoholics Anonymous, and that was not the spot that I wanted to be in, you know? But now I'm thankful that I found it, because I'm able to sit here with you guys and share our experience, strength, and hope, because there is light at the end of the tunnel if you put one foot in front of the other and do it.
Shining bright.
Yeah, and if I can like shine some hope, because not everybody knows our new host of the Hopeaholics, Natalie Eva Marie.
Yes.
But I'm gonna say this because so she got sober at 23, 3 years into it, thought she graduated, went back out on a run, got sober again, and like I believe that at that time she knew she was done, and she at least started going after life, right?
Yeah.
And she got an opportunity of a lifetime to be a WWE superstar, and 6 years on the reality TV show Total Divas, which was part of the WWE. Yeah. So, like, you never know what's going to happen in your life.
Yeah.
Ever.
I mean, I can't remember which one. Forgive me that I forget your name, but you had shared about, you know, one decision that was a pivotal moment in my life. If I made the other opposite, where my brain likes to tell me, if I picked up or used, then I wouldn't have got my dream job.
Yeah.
I want to be sitting here today with you guys and being able to share my
experience.
Yeah.
Your experience. And I only say that because this is a Recover Out Loud meeting. This isn't an anonymous meeting.
Yeah.
And we want to share successes as well that happen in our lives, you know?
Yeah.
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 Shane's a crackhead who ex crackhead.
I've reformed.
Who rolled his couch down the street with a dolly.
Yes.
To sell it for a crack rock.
Yes, I did. I actually got a little bit of coke and I cooked it up. I was a great cook. $0.25 for that couch.
I mean, come on, guys. You
know?
know?
I had a nice ball.
Yeah.
That's determination.
Yeah,
right
fuck
there.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, it was wintertime too.
And let's not forget that.
Utah.
Oh, you were in
Utah.
Utah?
I was in
Okay.
Utah winter.
Okay. I literally was picturing Winnipeg.
No,
Canada.
Utah. It was
Shane
Utah.
is from Canada, guys.
This was fucking Utah. Winnipeg, I wouldn't have survived on the street. Utah, that was okay. Yeah.
You know, and I sit here and I want to say to everybody that you know that we are all truly living a life beyond our wildest dreams.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Like I would have never thought
Never.
at 23 years old when I found, and trust me guys, there's been many relapses along my journey, but at 23 years old I found the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous was actually the room that I found, and I would have never thought that where I'm at, that I would ever be where I'm at today.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just financially or business wise, but the man that I have become.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a guy that I look in the mirror and I say, you know, I'm proud of you.
It's a guy you look up to.
I do.
Yeah.
I look
Yeah.
up
It's
to
nice.
that guy.
So does your son.
And there's don't
There's
get
nothing
me
like
wrong,
that, bro.
though, guys.
There's nothing like that.
I don't want people to get me wrong. There's days I look in the
Of
mirror
course.
and my addiction grabs a hold of me
Yeah,
and says, "Look at you.
sure.
You're just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You got like, you're fat. You're all these stupid things that my head tells
You're a
me."
little heavy. That's all. Not fat.
Big bone.
I like to be called Big Bone.
You're big bone, bro.
Big bone.
You're
But that's why that's why the program is a daily reprieve.
yeah.
Continuously work at it because my disease is trying to take me out every fucking day.
Yeah, right. This is
Every
like
day.
radio now. This is like 4 people, like you're watching the radio and they're just watching. You're listening to the radio, just talking back and forth. People love this.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. This is no one's left.
Jane is crazy.
So guys, if you do enjoy it, tell a friend.
Yeah, bring a friend.
We want to continue.
Make it a
to-
2-hour fucking meeting.
We want
There you
to
go.
continue to grow this meeting because this meeting isn't about any one of us sitting at this table. I will remind everybody that the Hopeaholics podcast and us joining the Recover Out Loud meeting is all because of a tragedy that happened on December 11th of 2022. My 21-year-old daughter found her fiance dead from fentanyl. And that's why we exist.
Yeah.
That is why we
Fuck
exist.
yeah.
So, we're not fucking around when it comes to this movement and drugs and alcohol and being aware, breaking the stigma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
bringing awareness and fighting back against the powers that be.
Fucking A.
Oh
yeah.
that's
baby.
what we're doing.
That's what we're
It's
doing
important
here.
for this thing not to be behind closed doors.
No, for sure.
You know,
People
to,
suffer in silence.
exactly. And I'll never forget when I was writing an essay, my grad school essays, you have to tell them about yourself. And I added this in, I added in my struggle. My mother's like, Tracy, you have to announce that to everybody. I said, yeah, I do. It's out there. It's part of who I am. And even in the therapy world, and even when I'm doing groups and stuff, it is out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is nothing to be, I don't find any shame in this anymore. It's not a label that I have for myself, like, oh shit, I am this and I'm nothing more. This is just a part. This was a stepping stone. This is kind of what pushed me and propelled me into my purpose, kind of forced me there very uncomfortably. And without this, I wouldn't have what I wouldn't have what I have if I hadn't done those 16 years of hell and gone through that and found a way and found that source of resilience, and then that resilience and those things I learned along the way, being able to take that and translate it into a strength later on.
Yep.
it's huge.
I wouldn't have learned, we don't learn those things,
Yeah. That's why you guys that show up every single week, you mean everything to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we appreciate each and every one of you showing up, sharing, and being here with us every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yep, exactly. Recover out loud.
Sharing is caring.
All right, guys,
Yeah.
we're gonna pray out. Thanks
Shut
for
her
everybody.
down.
This is where the miracle happens.
Yeah.
All of you that stayed, we get to stay sober another day. So
Yep.
All right.
you want to start? You want to
God,
God.
grant me the serenity
to
accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Wesley, we'll see you next week, bro.
Yes.
Amen.
See everybody
guys
next
so much.
See you
week.
guys next week.
Send us Instagrams.
Thanks for coming.
Send us Instagrams. I'll respond back. Send us Instagrams. I'll respond back.
Oh.
Thanks, guys.
You didn't dance tonight, Shane. Remember last week we got everybody to dance.
Oh, you're right. We should have asked everyone to shake it up here.
You have like the